Hello and welcome to the Shoreham View season review. We'll be taking a look back at the season we've just had, going through the highs, the lows, the lows, the lows, the lows, and the rest of it. Joining us this week, as usual, is Jonno.
Hi.
There's also the lovely, the beautiful, the voluptuous, the sensual Robert Gascoigne.
Knew you were going to do that.
And Ruth.
Hi.
Right, where do we even fucking start?
Start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning.
The hopes at the beginning of the season.
We all thought Slav looked right man for a job, didn't we?
Yeah,
I did.
absolutely.
You're humming, you're huffing.
I was the only one that wanted to give him a chance at one point.
Well, that's
Yeah. But at the beginning of the season, did you think you were the right person?
No, I never think that about anybody though.
You think it's always going to be a mistake?
Yeah.
This is why you're not married yet.
This is football managers, not men in general.
Right, sorry.
So, do we think that Slav were doomed from the start with Board not getting his promises, or do you think it were more to do with the way he played football, the way he lined up, or do you think it was just the fact that he were never going to get the 300, 400 million that he were going to need to shape a squad? We're going to Rob.
I think the problem was that what discussions took place with Board. I mean, we've got a squad full of players that play to a system. So if they've had discussions and he wants to change that system, then money's got to be made available. And if money's not made available, you got problems. So as soon as it became obvious they were trying to get our players square pegs in round holes, or we're doing some decisions, tactical and selection wise, were baffling from very early doors. I remember me and you were very early dissenters at what's going off here.
Yeah, I think me and you got some very funny looks, didn't we? Oh, he's only 3-4 games in.
But when he gets these players in, he's not going to get these players in with his ball.
No.
Not a chance on earth.
Jonno, you gave him quite a while, didn't you, before you started jumping on the Sideshow Bob bandwagon?
I was just doing it for the Sideshow Bob gig. I just had high hopes for him. Man, for me, it was just that change in the system that our players could not adapt to for me. He wanted to bring his own players in, but they were unrealistic for a club of our size, and our owners aren't going to give him what he wanted. Giving him his own players, I do think, could have been successful. Just not with the players that he had. Dropping Bashan, I think, were a major thing.
Yeah, major.
That would start at downfall.
Remember early on, I think we went to West Brom, didn't we? And I think you turned around to me and you said that the way he's got these players lined up, it's like we're just waiting to pass it back every time we get the ball.
Yeah, and he wanted our players that we'd got to play his style of football, and that's not what they're cut out for. Same as what Rob said about the square pegs in circular holes.
I mean, to me, we had players that had been brought in, shaped, moulded to a specialist system. We were already suffering because once you take Jack O'Connell out of that system, even Wilder couldn't get best out of him. And then to get these players that have been moulded in such a way and expect them to play a defensive, passing, continental style of football when all we've been used to is a high press, pushing in players' faces, getting forward, aggressive football. It was never going to work. And to me, I think even if it had the right players come in, would we have liked the way we played football?
No, slow.
We wouldn't have been
slow, backwards, crab football.
You look at him how we played, how we got Fulham playing though, they were a joy to watch. So why couldn't he have done that with the right players bringing
they were
in?
Fast, weren't they? They were pace on break. Problem is he got more support from me than he should have done because people related the system to Wilder.
Yeah.
Wilder had gone, but the system was still. The system is as was proved second half of the season. The system is a workable, successful system. Many teams play it, but people say, no, we've got to change. Certainly people that were critical of Wilder, we've got to change that system. It's the system. And then you were no need to do that, as we proved second half of the season.
People who are critical of Wilder, people who still find every excuse to slag him off on Facebook.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at these players.
Oh, dear. Speaking of players coming in, etc., we talked about how we never really got his players in. Apart from Gibbs White,
and what he is,
and what he's just an amazing player, could we class this as one of the worst transfer winners in a long time?
In a long time, yeah.
Not ever, definitely not ever, but in a long time.
I think so. But the players that he fetched in weren't successful, were they?
Two of them left, didn't they?
Well, but then again, that because whether they'd have been right, if Restett's system had been shaped around that, you don't know, do you? The question comes is they weren't going to change the system when he fetched in. He needed pace, and we weren't going to support that. So they were a waste of time.
Yeah.
An absolute waste of time what he fetched in. And we can't relate what them players coming into Championship with players who were bought for Premier League. I get what John is it the worst ever, but the players he fetched in were not successful, were they?
No. I mean, Wes were already there. We already made. We all know. I mean, me and you had our talks about Robin Olsen, didn't we? We loved him. Apart from the song we made up.
We even had a song, didn't we?
We were so happy when he first came in.
That went down like a lead balloon, didn't it?
A bit like his
Don't talk about the
goalkeeping.
song. Yeah.
But you thought Robin Olsen, you think that's a very good sign
Yeah,
for him?
yeah.
We were all had eye out for what a keeper we've got here.
But I think he were highly criticised, and he weren't good. But I think he got for a lot more criticism because team weren't successul.
Oh no, Robbie, he couldn't catch a ball. He couldn't catch a
I
count.
understand that. I'm not saying you were a good goalkeeper. Verrips made him look good. But when playing Verrips is second worst goalkeeper at that performance at West Brom.
Oh, we were there. We were there when he threw it in the back of the net.
No.
I think you nearly punched me.
I probably did multiple times that day.
Transfer window we've had, looking at midfielders, because me, you and Rob had this argument with Ian and Andy, and we're saying this is a Wilders midfield, and that's why it's not working, and that's why it's not doing this. He brought in 2 midfielders and never played them. What point even signing him? I can see the anger.
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer to that one, Johnny. It's a question I ask myself, yeah, multiple times. I don't know.
I mean, what was his name? Were it Guardiola?
Guardiola.
Pep?
No, who was it?
But every time I hear his name, I think of
He's a
Pep.
right player who scored against Wednesday.
Verbatim. Well, I think one of the things that we do have to look at, and we'll talk more about this in the season preview as well as the review we're having now, we're also dealing with a bit of an ageing squad, aren't we? So that slow tempo football, maybe you thought with older players it'd suit them more. But even at the age some of the players we got, they were used to more attacking football, so they would never. It don't really translate, does it?
They're not old. I mean, they're aging, but they're not old. They're second half of the season showed that.
Yeah.
They just got crucified because playing in Premier League, and our Premier League midfields are and blast past them.
Yeah.
They can get from one end of the pitch to the other in about 10 strides, and we were struggling in the way. Totally different league, and there's midfield players, they're good players.
Yeah.
This standard, they were good midfield players. Yes, we need more pace in here, that because we're out of doubt, but he didn't fetch any pace in. So, you know.
I think that a lot can be said though for experience over bringing youngsters in.
Yeah.
I think you need that sort of age and that wisdom to keep those young ones grounded, and they can just see the game unfolding a lot better.
Because you do need that kind of mentor figure in the team as well. Players played better when Billy Sharp, like the younger players played better when Billy Sharp were on the pitch. That always helped. Even look at Gibbs White, he's not exceptional. He's like, what, 24, 25? And Dye always looked a better player when Gibbs White were next to him, kind of like leading him on. So, I do get the aging squad argument, but me and you've talked about this before. Age isn't always a bad thing.
No, Tommy Basham's still got another 25 years.
Minimum.
Easy. He'll be still running his bollocks off all the time. Yeah, but you can see in a couple of seasons' time that we will be losing the players that have been here a long time. Yeah. And hopefully the youngsters that are coming through are looking good if United don't sell. And I do think we've got a good youth coming through in places.
The right man at the right time, Mr. Paul Eckingbottom. Wow. Me and you said when we were on Beer and Breakfast that we weren't against him getting the job, we were maybe against the length of his contract.
Just how he got brought about straight in.
Yeah. We've said before, I think Rob's got it, I think you've mentioned it. I think Slava brought him for season tickets because they wanted Eckingbottom from the start maybe. And so they thought they'd go out and they'd get Slav, give him a go, and if it didn't work they had Eckingbottom waiting in the wings. Would Eckingbottom have had a successful season if he'd have been there from day one?
I think anybody that played our system would have had a successful season. To be perfectly honest with you, I like him, he's alright, he's a likeable bloke, but I think, to be honest with you, the squad was set up for me to finish top 6 anyhow this season as a minimum. I were expecting top 2, and I think, you know, just returning to that system, saying to them players, get out here, do it. You know, I think we'd have had a successful season.
So top 2 if Eckingbottom started season?
I'd have fancied us. My view at the beginning of the season where if we stuck with that system in this league, because this league has been shite.
Yeah.
If we'd have stuck with that system,
season.
with this, alright, injuries took over and I think that's affected some results as well. But a fully fit squad this season, and it's been shown with results when we had hardly any squad and we were still getting results. I expected us to finish top three, let's say. It's Fulham, I always thought we were going to be there and what have you. But certainly, yeah.
I don't know about that because we're not known for our consistency. We're not known for having a season where we consistently play well all season. Because I was going to ask the same question. Do you think we needed to have Slav in for it to be as bad as it was, for us to then have that drive to and something to play towards, to then turn it around like we did? I just don't know. I don't think we're consistent enough to have a full season.
No.
I think we would have been this season. Like I said, I think it's been an awful league.
Yeah, it has. It's been.
I think it's been an absolute shocker of a season. That's why Forest have flown up league, because the teams up at the top aren't good.
It's going to be harder next season, isn't it? Yeah. When you look at teams that have come down, teams that have come up, it's going to be a lot harder next season. I mean, when some of the teams that are down in the bottom, they were like top 6 for like first half of the season.
Yeah. Well, look at us when we started. One ball over, top goal.
Yeah.
We were worst team. We were having a lot of possession, and we was going on about possession stats. We were just wide open because the system we were playing with 4 at back. One ball over top, somebody gets through, scores a goal, boom, we've lost again. So teams were picking points up like that.
We struggled with long ball, didn't we?
Every time,
every team that played it.
Like any idiot.
Coventry, Millwall, just always playing that style.
We always struggle against Millwall, regardless.
but no, and so I don't think that the teams in this league. I mean, Fulham's won't eat by that much.
Yeah.
Because they stuck with what they got.
Well, the thing with Fulham is, if you look at we mentioned this, didn't we? Fulham, scarily enough, the team, their starting 11 from first game to last season, I think was 98% the same team consistently in and out and in and out.
Lucky we had injuries, weren't they both?
Yeah. But coming into that, what's held us back? What's held Sheffield United back most this season? I mean, we can draw some lines to where this leads to. But the first thing you've got to bring up is training ground.
Well,
the training ground.
What's held us back is bored. Let's be honest. That part.
I wanted to hold off on that for a little bit. Fuck it, let's go.
Sorry, Mario. No, it is though, because training ground's linked to that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's face it, it's a shithole.
It's not as though it's a new thing that they've asked for. They've been asking for this for
he tried to make it a Wilder thing. Wilder wanted to upgrade. Then, so Slavden starts criticising it. Now, Eckenbottom's criticising it. So there's a common theme, isn't there?
Yep.
They're all wrong.
What we've got is somebody who's done the toss and don't want to put no money into it.
I mean, having that open air shower in changing room makes it a lot easier, and being able to wash your
they're glad when it rains. They're glad when it rains so they can have a wish.
I mean, for you've had some criticisms that you've kept to yourself a lot of the time, Ruth. You've been less vocal about it, but surely you've got to see that the thing that's held us back has been more off the pitch and on the pitch this season.
Yeah, I'm not a critical person at all, especially when it comes to United. I'm very much what you'd brand a happy clapper, as you've gypped me for millions of times. I can see no wrong with United as a club, as a team, fans, anything. But yeah, this board is possibly the worst one we've had.
Ooh, we've had some shite.
Carlo Colombotti kind of brings to mind.
One after another. A couple of them still on run, aren't they?
Okay then, they're on the path to be.
No, they're equivalent, I think.
Yeah.
Well, but that guy on Twitter says that our accounts look really good, and the people on Facebook say that he's put all of his own money in, and it's all bollocks.
They can say what they want, can't they? Because
they're very good at putting a media spin on things.
Yes, they are.
John's saying quiet.
I fell for it. I like what he says at times.
Political answers every time.
Yeah.
Load of bollocks.
He's going to say this season, we'll wait till last day of transfer window. Oh, we had bids for, I don't know, Thomas Ribéry, Arjen Robben, Beckenbauer, old Ronaldo, fat Ronaldo, skinny Ronaldo, Messi, Tom Campbell, and Tom Campbell.
I didn't go from Messi to Tom Campbell.
I thought I'd throw a realistic one in at the end, but we offered him 10 Mars bars and packets of crisps, which we thought were really good enough.
So we got Razor Ruddock.
but they turned it down at last minute of transfer. It's the same every fucking window. You can't deny the fact that I know COVID played a part in it because it stopped it. In the Premier League, I think when he took full control from McCabe, I think we won 5 games since that day in the Premier League, and then we've gone backwards since. COVID's a lot to do with it, but you can't blame lack of fans and stuff, because look how Leeds did in their first season compared to how they did in the second season. So you can't use that as the excuse all the time. Since he's took full control of the club, we have gone consistently backwards. And I think that one of the biggest things holding this club back is, even if people seem to think I've got a personal hatred for him, he might be a lovely bloke, but they do not know how to run a football club.
No.
They don't, and it's simple as.
No, it's a cash cow for him, let's be honest.
And a bit of novelty, I think.
We're up shit street because these blokes that might take over, we don't know about them, but the fact of it is Prince weren't going to put no money in anyhow, and he's definitely not going to put no money in if we're going to sell. So, and these people coming in might be dodgy. So to me, it's just another phase and typical Sheffield United in history. Whereas we're up shit street either option, in my opinion. And so
people go, he put all he's put his money into it, and he hasn't put his money into it. He's put the fucking club's money into it.
Absolutely.
And into the United world.
Yeah, and into United world.
His consultancy fees.
I mean, look at the fucking fans at Bearshoft.
Can we just the Belgian club?
The Belgian club. They fucking hate him.
Do they?
Yeah, they can't stand him. I had 2 journalists from Belgium come and talk to me on the fucking last game of the season.
What about that Indian club?
Apparently they have not heard anything.
What about that brilliant French club?
Who?
Oh, they didn't.
We were still looking forward to that trip to France. When they announced that French club, we were saying friendlies in France.
Yeah, we'll get to
Nice
travel
training
there.
Even a friendly in Belgium would have been nice.
I know.
It's going to be an academy that's going to produce such wonder kids. Like that's going to turn to reality. Even if they find them big French clubs, they come and nick them anyhow. So
we nearly didn't have an home
absolute
kit. We nearly didn't have an home kit this season because the Marriott and Henry Marius, whatever he's fucking called, he's had that window exclusivity. Well, he didn't want a Raya. And he didn't want fuck all to do with United World either. No. He wanted to stick with Adidas.
Neither do we.
This is why the kit's been so long to be announced, because he wanted that. They've had to wait till they knew what were going off. Once they realised it might not happen before the start of the season, so fuck it, we best sign this deal then. But that just, to me, it's like with his transfer business. It works on like business time. He thinks that everything's done at a slow pace and things will wait and this, that, and the other. Yeah, when you've got players, I can't say too much because I'll be writing people out of told me shit, but when you've got players who get shown around, not the training ground, because Heckingbottom didn't want to take him anywhere near the fucking training ground, took him to the stadium, showed him all the way around, and then says, yeah, I definitely want to sign for Sheffield United, I'm up for it. And then for 3 weeks in January he hears absolutely nothing, and then signs for another club, a big Glasgow club that might play in blue. He signs for them. The day he signs for them, he gets a contract offer from Sheffield United, and we've not even given him a wage rise. We've offered him the same as what he was at his former club. That just shows what kind of people you're dealing with. And Heckingbottom comes out with more of a passive-aggressive approach rather than Slaven Wilder, who kicked off. It's more of I don't think we were quick enough. We need to be quicker. And now I think he's getting to the stage where Heckingbottom's kind of losing his rag a little bit, and he is going to start.
Getting fed up,
it is. It's bound to be. Another one sold a pup.
Yeah. At least he got some like Wilder.
Well, he's not got a bad contract out of it, has he? And he's not based on results, so as soon as he starts getting mardy about things, he'll soon change his contract.
That's it. We can't get too attached to Heckingbottom, because as soon as he starts calling stuff out, he'll be gone.
Yeah. I think he'll stick around. I think it all depends on what. If we don't sell, or we sell one, then we've still got basis for a decent squad. Yeah. And so I still expect it, but it's not because of Prince. It's because we can't sell as players and they're under contract, so we'll use them. Just because who's going to buy Effort squad? I mean, Baldock might go or yes.
Breathe.
Off to Greece, isn't it?
But even that pisses me off, because people say, oh well, we've got Bogle. Bogle's going to be out until at least 2-3 months into the season, so he's going to play a right back.
I still think Bogle's a better midfielder than defender.
I think Baldock blinds him as a defender for me. Yeah. But anybody who is might go. But we've got players that we're not going to get rid of, so we'll have basis for a squad. Yeah. It's just an hoping and I can play in that 10 role or whatever they want to play him instead of Gibbs White.
Well, the thing is, we wanted to film this preview 2 weeks ago, thinking, oh, by this time we're going to film the review, like the season review 2 weeks ago, and the preview this week. Because I thought we'd have some signings and stuff by now, but we've held off. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever made you think
Why
that?
would you think that?
I don't know, maybe I got caught in the media.
Is loan market open yet?
You've never been an optimist. What's happened to you?
That's very fucking true.
I'm the optimistic one.
It's since I've stopped drinking. But we'll move away from the board talk.
Yes.
We're going to have a bigger talk about that, but I think we've covered enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that Rob didn't mention the home fans being the reason that we've
Yeah,
No,
did that
that-
always
come on.
bite?
not performed as well.
No, is it?
Very vocal on a match day, Rob.
Yes, I am.
Sing up!
Sing up, you bastard. Yeah.
Sounds like fucking
The fact that it is, certainly early season, and yes, fans can say that, they need excitement to get in. Sometimes you've got to lift the team. And the fact that it is there were a lack of enthusiasm for 3/4 of that season. And it was getting back to the stage under Djukanovic that do you want to lead the pub? And so to still be getting crowds we were getting were quite amazing, really. But there were no enthusiasm there. Nobody were walking to the ground with enthusiasm. And so I tried to raise some, but that was more alcohol led than my own enthusiasm.
You do get a bit aggressive with it.
The number of arguments he's had.
We once sat there, and instead of watching Slav football, which I'm going to coin a phrase from the Tufty Club, it was very Adkinsy. Very Adkins. We spent 20 minutes watching him argue with Ian and Andy rather than watching football.
You were sat at back.
You were sat with your young'un at back, just sat there falling asleep.
Well, what else were you to do?
Yeah, I met your dad. So moving away from the doom and gloom, what's been our biggest successes this season, Jonno?
Paul Eckingbottom.
You think just Paul Eckingbottom in general?
Well, there's a few, but obviously it starts with Paul Eckingbottom bringing him in. Good decision in end, weren't it? Obviously Morgan Gibbs White, Sean, and Dyer coming through ranks. And and Jackie Longthrow, you've got to put him in there.
Mate, he were a revelation, weren't he?
He's been a phenomenal player, especially for the last half of the season. He really has.
I think you two on bus, I'm pointing at Ruth and not you. You two on bus, somebody will break, he's where to Peterborough. He's not good enough for Premier League, even as cover, but as a championship top half player, he holds his own, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, you get rid of him, you've got to buy somebody. We're not going to buy somebody, so keep him. That's the situation. He does a job. He makes mistakes. That's why he's a backup. Championship player. If he never made a mistake, it's and some of them mistakes, he did make mistakes at West Brom, and he had a nightmare. But having that clown behind him didn't help him.
No, not at all.
So both of them became focus. Very tritely, but him. But I think at the end of last season in Premier League, when he finished them last few games, he
came in strong.
So I just think if we get rid of him, who are we going to buy?
I'm not want to get rid of him.
And kids aren't good enough. Yeah.
No, not the defensive ones.
No, not at all.
I always think defenders they need to be loaned out until they're about 20, 21. Well, minimum, I think.
Well, they've got to get roughed up.
Man.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. That's where your experience comes in.
It's a toxic phrase to use nowadays, but in a physical game, they do need to man up.
They've got to be roughed up. It's like young goalkeepers have got to be roughed up, get them under pressure, long throws. They come through it.
Well, not anymore. You can't touch a keeper, can you? Really?
No.
But
get send them down to conference, so get roughed up then. I mean, if I were to, you've obviously got Paul Eckingbottom. Ruth, what's been your biggest success story at United this season? Players, results, what the season went.
Was it Fulham?
Fulham
were that last game.
Last home game.
Yeah. That were a good game. That was really enjoyable.
That filled me with a lot of unfounded hope.
Yeah. But I always have that hope though, don't I? So it just buoyed me up and it made me happy, and I like things that make me happy. But that and Morgan Gibbs White, it's got to be bringing him in. He was. Everything we needed him to be.
Never fall in love with a lone player. It's happened again, hasn't it? It's happened again.
We got the loan just to bring in Gibbs White.
Go on, Rob. Your biggest success of the season.
Mine is I think the best thing to come out of it is a lot of people regained some faith in players that went down because they were getting slaughtered, hammered, left, right and centre. Oh, the wankers, get rid of him, get rid of no one, get rid of him, he's crap, he's old, he's slow, he's this. What the bollocks, this standard is the standard that they can perform at, and so a lot of people's attitudes changed again. So I think that was the biggest bonus, because the slaughtering that they were getting ended from Premier League and first half of last season, again because of shit management system first half of the season. But when they started playing our system and they started playing well and people regained the faith in them, and I think that was the best thing to come out of it, really, because they are good players, they're not crap. They went up before and they had that Premiership season. They're not crap players.
No.
They might have lost confidence and system might have been shy, but
I think our biggest success of this season is finding a number one keeper. Because since Dean Henderson, what have we had? We've had an overrated fraud, we've had Robin Olsen and fucking salad fingers throwing ball in back of his fucking head. And then Luton away, when I left at half time, because it was that bad under Slav, but everybody was slating Fotheringham. In a few friendlies, we slated Fotheringham. I remember when Dino got slated in friendlies because he's got ball at his feet too much. But I think having Wes come in, Sir Wesley League One Fotheringham, solidifying his place in centre sticks, that gives you a bit more confidence going to next season. Going right, that's one thing off the list, because if we've got two backups in, we don't have to worry about number one, and that's what we've had to worry about for what 2-3 seasons already.
Guarantee he's getting sold.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can come in for him. I think he's had an outstanding season. I really do. It's whether he maintains. Is it a flashy pan outstanding? So we still need a solid number two. Now, if that keeper we signed is still at least we've got some pressure on him. I never wanted Verips anywhere near the squad because
continental goalkeepers never works.
Was it was Verips and Fotheringham that they alternated, weren't it? No.
I think they alternated Verips for 2 games and a ton to fuck off.
Yeah,
that was the intention.
Yeah, but I think that's the best thing they could have done, because it gave them that competition.
Yeah.
And it put that little bit of pressure on.
They had Verips at West Brom, Wes for 2 games after that, and then Verips played in League Cup, and then they brought Olsen in, and then Olsen were Olsen.
No, I mean after Olsen.
No, I think we had Wes
Verips
straight in.
never played again.
Verips didn't play again after that League Cup game.
No.
Right, I'm getting confused. Well, yeah, anyway.
So I'm going to go from right to left, and we're all going to pick our player of the season. If you want to let us know your player of the season, good answer comments below. Leave us a comment. We'll tell you why you're wrong, unless you pick the same as what we've got. Start from right to left. Ruth, who's your player of the season?
Well, I think this is a given, isn't it? It's got to be George. George Baldock. No, I'm joking. As much as I love George, he's always my number one. I am. I think after the conversation we've just had, there could be 2. It's got to be Wes. League One Wes?
League One Wes? Yeah, I'm going to go for the same. To have that much criticism on your back, to then come into it and be such a solid figure between the sticks, it's got to be Wes. Gibbs White, Billy Sharp, 2 possible players that are going to chase him, but I'm going to go with Wes.
Morgan Gibbs White for me. Phenomenal player, very consistent, just a joy to watch, and unfortunately we're not going to see him again at Bramall Lane in the red and white shirt.
Can we just point out that we had somebody on the show that said phenomenal right first time, and it said phenomenal. I usually try to see. It's usually me who uses that word. I end points to 8 takes with phenomenal.
Morgan Gibbs White. I thought he raised everybody's hopes every time he got near the ball. Had some bad games, of course, but exciting quality. You just got you on the edge of your seat. And a mention for Billy, like you just said. I thought Billy, them 2 together, linked up really good.
Them 2 up front were good. I said when they played a few games together, I was on Twitter saying that they could be the best strike partnership we've had in quite a while, like working together, because Morgan Gibbs White's flick always came off because Sharp knew where to be in the right position. That's why when McGoldrick didn't work, because they were both trying to flick it to the same bastard place with no striker running onto it. So player of the season, 2 all. So you down in the comments, you get the deciding vote. Is it League One Wes or Gibbs Morgan Gibbs Morgan White?
Exactly.
Gibby. Is it Gibby? From left to right this time. Div of the season. Go on, Rob.
James.
He's won it for the 10th year in a row.
Without arguments at Luton and everywhere, at Coventry and everywhere else, I think. Jukanovic for changing the system. You fucking div.
I'm going to say, you and fucking James can argue about what fucking shade of blue sky it is. Jonno, div of the season.
Robin Olsen.
Ooh.
Yeah, big disappointing season for him. I thought, what a great signing that. Just, rate let down. And he looked a div as well.
I'm torn between two players. One of them Rob will hate me for. I was going to say McBurney. Again, love the guy. Love to go for a beer with him. As a football player, I'd drive him wherever he wants to go. But I still want him. I still think, and I'm going to say it in the preview, if he hits some kind of form, he could be a big player for us. Could be a substantial word. He got a few good assists. When he does put the work in, he does look an half decent player at times. It's just 80% of the time he looks like he hasn't got a clue what he's doing, where he should be. And I think that's down to him not fitting the system we use. We talked a lot about system. It could be that we're not playing to his strengths. But he's not one I'm going to pick for div of the week. Div of the season. It's going to be Elise Mousset. What a fucking waste of talent.
Oh, he makes James look good.
He makes James look skinny.
To be fair, I even forgot about these.
Yeah,
because that's how irrelevant it's become.
Although, where was it? Where were it Barnsley?
It's good, that's what
it's good too.
I'll always remember that game because he gave us that joie de vivre. Using his native language.
Me and you said on the preview game before Barnsley, if Elise Mousset starts, it'll be off by, 82nd or 86nd?
We'll
bang on.
It's the only prediction we've ever got right.
You didn't get the mascot right though. That was definitely a dog.
No, a dog.
Anyway, let's move on. My div of the season. I'm torn between Jonno's and Rob's, and I did say this before. So if it has to be a player,
can be anybody you want. It could be.
It's going to be Olsen, but for me, the biggest div of the season was Slav. I just think he came in. He tried to be too ambitious. He wanted to do things his own way. Maybe a bit of an ego there.
Stubborn.
Stubborn, definitely stubborn.
Sounded like the coaches are fetched in and all, weren't that clever, didn't it?
No, none of the players liked him.
Not for me.
No. So some similar opinions, some varying opinions there. Who's your biggest disappointment of the season? Biggest div, biggest idiot? You can pick me and Jonno. You know, we've been stupid all season, but mostly me.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
But we'll try and stick to at the actual club, not on the show. Surprise package of the season. We'll start with me. My biggest surprise package of the season has been Ndiaye. I didn't expect him to have the impact he's had. I always knew he was going to be a decent player, but I didn't expect him to quite come out the blocks the way he did. He got an injury and he had a bit of the middle of the season off. But when he played, he looked comfortable, he looked ready, and he looked like a big player for the future who will no doubt sell in January. Jonno.
It's a tough one, that. I'm going to give it to Jackie Longthrow. It's just... I mean, I was terrified every time he had ball. At the beginning of the season in Premier League, it just terrified me. But this season, he's just been really, really just impressive. Just so consistent, solid at back, just fitted in brilliantly.
Ruth.
You're coming to me. I thought you were going in order.
Oh no, we're doing a zigzag.
Oh, okay.
Human centipede.
By surprise. I mean, I agree with both of those. And can I say the same person as I already have? Obviously not the div. I think Wes for me. He surprised me. The first time I saw him play, he looked nervous, and I didn't think he was going to be right for us.
Luton.
Yeah, and he's really surprised me. And he's come out, and actually, I don't get that fear anymore. Someone's coming towards our box. I'm not on 10 toes.
Similar to what Robin said. Someone going near their box.
I always get fear when somebody comes near my box.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Cut that!
That's easy.
Rob, surprise player of the season.
League One all the way.
League One Wes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's had a fantastic season. As I said, hopefully he'll continue in that way. I would say him. I thought at first a bit iffy on crosses, or would he struggle, but I thought he's been fabulous. You can't really fault him. He's made a couple of mistakes, of course, but goalkeepers make mistakes. But I thought he were by far biggest surprise package for me.
Disappointing result of the season. We'll start with you, Jonno.
Bristol City at home.
Ooh. That was your most disappointing result?
Yeah, it was just a very, very disappointing one, that, when we were up on his way, we were in some very good form, and slip up like that.
Yeah.
It just weren't good.
I've got 3. I'm very, very...
Well, you hold on to them now. Don't come out with all 3 now, otherwise we're going to be stuck.
Yeah, we'll be stuck.
I'll name 2 of them, but I don't know which one to pick. Because obviously Luke went and left at half time because it was bad, but you knew it was going to be 0-0, so they weren't too disappointed with 0-0 at that point. Our trip to West Brom, that was bad. I've just about erased it.
This is why I didn't stay sober for any more away matches afterwards.
You stay sober for Birmingham?
Yeah, because I drove, yeah.
And we won?
Yeah, well.
But I've got to say Coventry. Coventry for me was, other than the absolute carnage of partying, and the very definition of a brilliant day out spoiled by a game of football.
Absolutely.
And we just beat
used to
Borough.
them.
We just beat Borough. What were it? 4-0?
4-1.
4-1. We were on a massive high, and then we went to Coventry, and whether they were pissed up, hungover, or just dead on their feet, losing 4-0 to Coventry. Even her meeting George Ball.
No, is that the one I went missing on? Is that, yes. I know why we didn't play well that day.
Because you weren't there cheering them on?
No, because George wasn't there.
No, too busy with you. But I'm talking to her.
I wouldn't stand well, yeah.
Can we get his name right now? It's Georgios.
Georgios Baldokis.
Dokis.
That's it.
Baldokis. Baldokis.
Our Greek international.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
100% Coventry, without any question or doubt. What a bag of shit. When we scored, because we scored.
Yeah. We thought it were on.
We thought we were on, even though we'd started poor, but they could have had 10.
I forgot we scored.
They could have had 10. They absolutely mullered us, and we were shite. Like I say, good day out, ruined by a match, but that were horrendous. And Andy having an argument with Karen about and she slaughtered him was right funny.
Oh, yeah.
She absolutely white flowy.
We're going to Roof now, Fred.
It's definitely not going to be Coventry.
No, I think we've explored Coventry. Mine is West Brom. It were early on in season. I drove, and I was full of the optimism that I always have. And yeah, they did that to us. Oh,
This is why you never go to a match with optimism.
No.
Yeah.
That's why you never
Makes it
drive
worse.
to a match.
Yeah,
At least when you're pissed, you can forget.
that was a long drive home. Not because I went the wrong way either.
It can be done from West Brom.
No, not when you end up in London.
Two wrong
That
turnings.
is a bit. Well, 2 wrong turnings.
And McDonald's were closed. It couldn't have been a worse day. Could not have been a worse day. So West Brom. West Brom for me.
It were.
Absolutely.
And you won't let me leave early either.
No, I don't ever leave a match early.
No, you don't. You don't. I don't very often. I did it 4 times this season.
That's because she's got a sign saying, George, can I have your shirt?
Just so I can. I don't want the shirt. Just so I can look at it without the
It's
shirt.
smelly.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Smell like feta.
We get a stick, but she knows more about football than most of your lads. So this is how we try and bring it back down to earth.
Knock me down if I go to.
Yeah. But you stood out when you're 6'9". Right. Result of the season. I'm going to go from right to left.
Does anybody want to know the news?
No. Right to left.
Are you going
Result
from
of the
me?
season.
Performance of the season and result of the season has got to be Fulham. Do you want me to explain why?
No.
I think everybody knows why. I explained why before. Yeah, it's got to be Fulham for me.
Result of the season, for me, I were going to say Fulham, but she's fucking milked it. Absolutely milked it, hasn't she?
Sure, she won't shut up about it.
Borough. That 4-1 win. It were just at the right time, weren't it? Wilder haters were out in force. Fuck them. You know, he got his round of applause, which he fucking richly deserved. He didn't get the closure he wanted from the result, obviously, because he didn't want to get one over on the fans of the club. He wanted to get one over on a certain person in a certain director's box, I think. Plus, he's a football manager who always wants to win games of football, no matter who he's playing. But I think he got his closure knowing that he came back, he had his head held high, he got his round of applause, and then watched his team get absolutely fucking battered by Sheffield United. And we did absolutely batter him. Sander Berger on that fucking day. He's the player that he had a few iffy starts under Slav, because I don't think even Slav knew what to do with him. But once you set him free, And once he starts throwing his weight around a bit more, he's a fucking superb player. 10 out of 10. Absolute amazing player. And anybody who don't think he fits Sheffield United,
nonsense.
Absolute bollocks.
Nonsense. After the injury he had, he needed to get back to proper fitness, and more fit he got, better.
And his national team manager can suck me off.
We'll realise next season how bad we look without him.
Yeah, exactly. Norwegian manager, I don't know who the fuck you are, but fuck off. Result.
With knobs on.
But no, that result were fucking amazing. Sharpie were a fucking force to be reckoned with. From 1 to 11, even every single player that game just absolutely bossed it. Eckingbottom got everything spot on. And that was the loudest here we go and here we go we had all season, weren't it? Even Rob couldn't complain.
Makes a big difference.
I got everybody going that night.
Jonno, result of the season.
I'm going Fulham away.
Fulham. Oh, what a day that was.
That was just so unexpected. I think that's what made it the whole better. We went, I forgot what
they couldn't go
Monday
to
night, weren't it, or something? And we were dreading it.
Yeah.
Thought, it's going to get called off because of COVID reasons. All that. I just thought, even if we get a game, we're going to get paid to 6 or 7 nil here. And you just, what a display of football from everyone. So hard fought. He just showed you that great that United showed, like them seasons of promotion. It were back, and they just deserved everything for that match. Brilliant.
That was my favourite away game of the entire season.
Yeah, it was just brilliant game.
I was gutted. I'd ummed and ahed for a while. We'd been messaging, shall I shan't. I decided against it.
We found the cheapest pub in London where we got
£50 a pint.
No,
it was not a bad price actually.
got a fucking two tables full of food.
It was a very posh away day. I felt very posh in there.
It did.
Dignified.
Yes.
Until he got
You've
pizza.
never been
Until he got
dignified.
pizza all around his mush like Heath Ledger from Joker. He's up in his back. But it was just everything from start to finish. Because we went with no expectation. We went with just an happy go lucky. Oh bollocks to it. We'll have a good time anyway.
That was it.
And then the result came out of nowhere. Fantastic away day.
For the only
Amazing.
disappointment was that we didn't get on board.
Yeah. No, I'm alright with that.
That's happening. Rotherham, we're going on Canal.
We're going on Canal for Rotherham. We're going to get a boots of Bruce for Rotherham Canal. Yeah.
Is that just the River
The
Dam?
anticipation is killing me.
Rob, result of the season.
It's got to be Luton at home. No, fucking Borough. That Borough night were brilliant.
Yeah.
And when you watch that behind the scenes, Wilder were brilliant after the match. Team players coming off, joining.
Him and Nilly.
Brilliant. But people don't want to see that, do they? I mean, some people never will. But he took it like a man, which is what he's.
Expect nothing less though from him playing against us. Anyone one of them, he'll probably have face on, but now it's.
We were brilliant, and he acknowledged he got totally mullered, and we did get mullered. Our performance that night was just superb.
Nobody will beat us that night.
No.
Nobody will beat us.
No.
Okay, so the big question for everybody, despite the heartache at the end, despite that big twat in their net saving them that fucking shot right at the end and taking it to penalties, despite the disappointment at the beginning of Slav, despite the training ground of doom, despite the fucking hierarchy at the club, despite everything, can we be proud of the boys and can we class it as a successful season, compare it, seeing where we started? Rob?
I don't class it from what I thought at the start of the season. I don't class it as a successful season. I think it's one we recovered. So I think it's a season of recovery, both in terms of fans' attitudes to certain players, as I said earlier. I think a lot of players have got some credit back in bank with some fans, but it certainly ended better. Well, if we'd have gone up, what would we have done? Nothing, I don't think.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
So we got some credit out of the season. I don't think it's a success now. I think we got a lot of problems at the club. But it had its highs, it had its lows. It was a Sheffield United season.
Ruth?
I agree with Rob, I wouldn't categorise it under a successful season. I think it was necessary, what we went through. And the transformation that we saw, I think that was so needed so that we don't ever make that mistake again. I'm not saying that we won't. But I think they ended being a team that we could be proud of. And that's all that matters to me, really. I'm not a fan of Premiership football anyway.
No,
I'm a fan of fucking away ticket prices.
I think it's more exciting in Championship.
Nova!
Yet.
Not that it fucking matters anyway. Look at fucking playoff final. But I don't know. I like Premiership football in that first season. That were amazing.
When you could actually go.
Yeah, and we were winning.
And we won. Yeah.
But I'm going to take back the phrase "we failed upwards." We didn't hit the season's target set out. I never thought we would. You know what? I was never one that thought we were going to. I thought we were going to lose it playoff final to Blackburn, and I said that from the beginning of the season, didn't I? And so we didn't start well under Slav. We recovered, like you guys have said, and when we finish in the playoffs, we're not going up. You might as well. When we say so, where we're finishing the season, playoffs. Oh, it's another season of Championship football. So I said we failed upwards in the end, which. Looking back at the players and the effort they put in to turn that round, because it were a big turnaround, I think we can all be proud of them. We can be proud of the manager, and I do have a shred of optimism that maybe we can come out fully fit next season and cause some problems for other teams. And if we want to go up, we've got to finish top 2, because there's no other fucking way we're going up.
Definitely not.
So we failed upwards, Jonno.
It was a season that we expected to finish in top 6 at the beginning. So yeah, we weren't a successful season. I were more gutted for players in that loss against Forest on penalties. Me, I like Championship for buying. I'm not going to lose any sleep not going up. No. Disappointing more for the players because they gave absolutely everything that match, and they deserved to go up after that performance. But yeah, I'm not too
We're a championship level football club.
We are.
That's where we are. And golf is that much bigger. And look at teams like you refer to first season and even second season. The teams who were poor in them season. Look at them now, Newcastle, Palace. They're all so much stronger than what when we played them in them seasons. The gulf is that vast.
Because they invest.
Well, and they've got a bigger squad. I mean, both seasons we had about 16, 17 first team players. We need to have 24, 23,
People can blame Wilder and blame getting found out and blame COVID and blame this and blame... Like, I put blame on the Brits because we had a fucking squad of about 12 players, and once you lose a player like Jack O'Connell, once you lose a player like Dean Henderson, how the fuck do you recover from that unless you reinvest? It were investment and not having a depth of squad of quality.
How much is a Jack O'Connell going to cost you?
Well, 40 million quid.
Easy.
Our squad from about 17 to 25 went to with a League One squad or low Championship squad, and the thing is they were needed and they weren't good enough. Kean Bryant, fucking sorry, I'm still scarred.
The team that beat Man U.
Although people will say, what's good against Man U?
Yeah, but you can say about fucking Ollie Burke. Jesus Christ. The fact that we let players like Ethan Ebanks-Landell go and we fucking brought Kean Bryan in. I'd have took fucking 2 Ethan Landells rather than 1 Bryan.
I know, let's not
go back there. So I'm feeling a bit Adkinsian here. We've said all we've got to say on this season review. I'd like to thank Rob and Ruth for taking the time out. They're busy schedules. Busy schedules to come and have a free beer.
Or water.
Or water. Yeah, we've all been healthy today.
Yeah, Pepsi.
It is about what?
No, Jonno won't give us a free one.
That's why he's not going to drink.
He's got on vodkas
in memory of
I bet he's got Dawn's handbag down there.
Anybody want a vodka?
Always thank you to Jonno and thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. Please leave some doodly comments. Don't be too abusive. Otherwise,
too abusive.
And
we can call us a twat or something like that.
Yeah, call me a cunt. I don't mind that. As long as it's just me.
That's just truth, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't mind being called a cunt. I get defensive with you lot. That's the thing. But no, we hope you have enjoyed this, and we will be back, hopefully, with these two for the season preview. I'm hoping to do it once we've signed some players, so probably in January. We'll do a season
2024.
We'll do a season preview. Thank you for watching, and up the blades.